welcome to HITC Sport. Right, it's time for more predictions. Did the Premier League one last week? There was another tattoo bet. This time I could potentially be getting Patrick Bamford playing the violin. Yeah, I never learn. Anyway, let's predict the championship table. The most unpredictable division on planet Earth. This is a league where relegation candidates can realistically end up challenging for promotion. Oh, this isn't gonna go well. Right, let's go. 24th, Rotherham. Rotherham fans, they can't even get angry with this. You all know you're going straight back down. Sure, you got promoted from League One.
Well done.
But you still managed to squeeze in defeats against Lincoln, Doncaster, Bristol Rovers, Oxford, Wycombe, Portsmouth, and Rochdale twice. A Rochdale team that has Paul McShane in defence. You know, the guy who hasn't cleared the ball since 2006. They have a squad filled with Billy Jones, Kyle Vassell, Jamie Proctor. Jamie Proctor, the guy with less than 50 goals in 300 games. He's a striker. It's his job description. That's like being a postman and delivering about 3 letters a day. Pretty sure you're going to get the sack. But yeah, the chances of this Rotherham squad staying up, there's more chance of me growing a third nipple on my face. 23rd, Barnsley. Okay, I have no idea how Barnsley managed to stay up last season. Even they don't know. It was some act of divine intervention. They managed to lose over 20 games, conceded nearly 70 goals, went on a 17-game winless run, and somehow stayed up after that. How? It's like sitting a school exam, misspelling your name and getting sick all over the page, and still somehow passing. To be fair, Collie Woodrow did force me to eat a bucket of cheese live on camera. Oh Christ, it was so stale, I could almost taste the cow's knob. I assume that's how cheese is made. Yes, Barnsley could kick on after that miracle, but no, I'm guessing you'll have about as much chance of staying up as my granddad on his wedding night. And he's been dead below the waist since 1953. 22nd, Huddersfield. Alright, Huddersfield are down before a ball has even been kicked. You can smell it. Start packing your bags, lads, because you'll soon be forking out for weekend trips to Swindon and Port Vale. I know, it sounds about as much fun as an afternoon making love to Judi Dench. She looks like if you ironed a turnip. Listen, last season was a bumpy return to the championship. They were a club in free fall who needed 10 attempts to win their first game. Danny Cowley kept you up, so sacking him in favour of Carlos Corberan, the guy coaching the under 23s at Leeds, it's just a mental decision. Sure, he might be world class at yelling at kids who've yet to hit puberty, then congrats, I guess you're on par with a man like Hacks. Employing Corberan is a reckless decision. It's like cutting the brakes of a school bus. Pretty sure you're going to be picking up geography books and teeth off the sidewalk. Carlin Grant scored 19 goals last season, so once he inevitably gets sold to someone like West Brom, you're just going to be relying on Fraser Campbell for goals. Fraser Campbell? You get more goals out of a damn toothbrush. 21st, Luton Town. Yeah, I predicted Luton to stay up last season, so predicting it 2 years in a row when they have a squad filled with lower league sludge? Honestly, it's like expecting to sail to Africa with a boat made of straw and cheese puffs. But there is a goodwill factor about this club. It's a bunch of lads who might be low in quality, but Christ above do they dig in for each other. So yeah, go on James Collins. Batter home another 50 goals to keep this tiny club in the league. 20th, Wycombe Wanderers. Okay lads, somehow, realistically, there is a chance that a nearly 40-year-old Adam Bay Akinfenwa, the guy who spent the last 5 years doing Jimmy challenges with Joe Weller and listening to Jeremy Lynch meant straight into a camera lens, in between stuffing his face with creatine sandwiches every 6 minutes, there is a chance that he could get promotion to the Premier League this season. The absolute scenes going from interviews with Hugh Wizzy to Premier League football, lads. Well listen lads, the spoiled fans of Premier League clubs treat the prospect of relegation to the Championship as if they've just been sentenced to 5 years in a Peruvian prison cell. Wycombe fans though, they couldn't be more grateful. They've probably been having nightly wet dreams of the playoff final. Like Luton last season, yes, I'm going to go for a miracle. A complete and utter miracle to keep this club with a stadium no bigger than True Geordie's fridge. I'm predicting them to stay up. 19th, Bristol City. Yeah, right now, Bristol City fans probably feel the sick taste of vomit in their throat. Right now, you'd probably all gladly see me drowned in a toilet. Bristol City in 19th? But lads, if we're going on current form, then your late season meltdown last year was ridiculous. You went 9 games without a win. Lee Johnson was sacked and replaced by Dean Holden. The last time he was a manager was 2015 when he won 3 games at Oldham. So putting him in charge of a human football team, it's probably about as reassuring as smelling vodka on your dentist's breath, trying to remove your filling and instead he takes out your eye. Oh lads, never mind promotion pushes for Bristol. Make no mistake about it, you are in a relegation scrap. 18th, Reading. Again lads, Reading have had a pretty rotten 2020. I mean, we all have, but them in particular. Even towards the end of last season, they conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games against Middlesbrough, Blackburn and Swansea. You'd swear Mark Bowen had filled his defence with mashed potato. Yes, they have another coach now, Veljko Paunovic. Yeah, he sounds like a type of Croatian soup. I don't want to judge him too harshly, but his CV would probably be laughed out of Costa Coffee. Coaching the Serbian underage kids before spending 4 years at Chicago Fire. Giving the manager job to a lad sacked in the MLS. It's a risk Reading didn't need to take. It's about as sensible as letting a demented pensioner cook your dinner. dinner. You're probably going to end up eating a boiled ear. It's a Reading team low on quality, in a slump, and with arguably the least inspiring coach in the league. It's going to be a sloppy season, ending with Alan Pardew in the dugout. Good Christ. 17th, Coventry. Alright, I'm predicting Rotherham to finish rock bottom, and Coventry to be clear of danger, despite there only being a 5 points difference between the teams last season. True, but Coventry only lost 3 games last year, and only once since Halloween. They're unbeaten in 2020. Mark Robbins has this team going in the right direction. Yeah, you know what? Go on, Coventry, stay up. Make me look like an utter genius. 16th, QPR. Yeah, last season I said QPR would get promoted, and they finished 13th. I'm not making that mistake again, and especially not with their summer activity. With the sale of Ebereki Etsy to Crystal Palace and the loss of Jordan Hugill, not to mention Naki Wells left in January, that's a guaranteed 50 goals a season gone. Honestly, Mark Warburton is working with a strike force held together by sellotape and hope. Who are you relying on for goals? Lyndon Dykes? Because lads, shopping for 20 goal a season strikers at Livingston is like looking for love on Love Island. The only thing you're getting from there is the yeast infection and disappointed parents. 16th, and that's if they're lucky. 15th, Sheffield Wednesday. Again, lads, Sheffield Wednesday's form in 2020 is just hideous. Since Christmas, you've lost 14 out of 23 league games and conceded 5 goals on 3 separate occasions. It's pitiful. Gary Monk is somehow still in charge. Trust me, this is the year where the world sobers up and realizes that he's actually not a good manager. How does he keep getting jobs? 14th, Birmingham City. Okay, this is optimistic. Considering Birmingham only stayed up by 2 points last year, so a comfortable 14th is a bit optimistic, especially for a team who haven't won a game since the second week of February. You could stick a bunch of flower pots and bin bags in that defence, and they'd have done a better job than that complete sack of brummy mucus. But Eidur Karanka is in charge now, a man who plays hideously mind-numbingly boring football, but crucially knows how to organise a defence. He'll keep them up, but yeah, a season ticket to St Andrews this season will still be about as much fun as picking dead skin off your grandmother's feet. 13th, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest probably think they're too good for 13th, right? Lads, no, do not underestimate how much a promotion collapse can destroy your club's morale. Forest are a big club who haven't been in the Premier League since 1999. Back in the days when Pierce Brosnan was James Bond. Now he looks like he's just spent the last 2 decades sleeping in a skip and brushing his teeth with his hand. Last season was their moment and they bottled it. So now there's probably just a cloud of disappointment hanging over this club. Sabri Lamouchi has to rally the troops in a division where they don't want to be. And sorry, the additions of Tyler Blackett, Lyle Taylor and Jack Colback is not enough. Right, sticking Colback in your midfield and expecting it to go up, it's like downloading TikTok and expecting not to feel like ripping out your own eyes. 12th, Preston. Again, Preston's form in 2020 has been a big soggy pile of wet Weetabix. Expecting to go up after winning just 3 of your last 14 games. It's like expecting to pass an audition for Britain's Got Talent after flinging a bag of your own spunk at Simon Cowell. Alex Neil needs to do something because that run of form is unacceptable. Preston are relying on Scott Sinclair and David Nugent to keep them up. I'm sorry, is this 2007? Because if so, I have a message to myself. Stop having a tug to photos of dead flowers. It's weird. 11th, Millwall. Okay, finishing 8th under Gary Rowett last season, it was a good finish. Millwall coming dangerously close to promotion, just 2 points off the playoffs. Pretty sure in the suits at Sky we're sweating like a pig in heat, because the last thing they want is Millwall fans in the top flight, ripping out seats, eating broken glass, and chewing off the heads of newborn children. I've never been to Millwall. I'm just assuming that you're only allowed a season ticket if you have a criminal record and a taste for human flesh. I'll say a slight step backwards into 11th. 10th, Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn under Tony Mowbray. Jeez. Is there a more pointless existence? This club needs to be in the Premier League. Christ, well, they won the thing back in 1995, and because of the Venkies, they are rotting in the Championship. If they don't go up this season, they'll have spent a decade outside the top flight. Listen, this will still be an improvement on last year, with Adam Armstrong coming into his peak, but no, still just 10th in the league. 9th, Swansea City. Okay, Swansea did far better last season than I thought. I think I predicted them for 21st. I'll play this one safe. Clearly the squad is a lot better than I imagined. I'm sorry, but I just assumed the likes of Andre Ayew at 30 years of age, he'd be kind of like that carton of milk you've kept in the fridge that's at least 3 years out of date. But no, he scored 14 goals in this league. He was great, but Steve Cooper is inexperienced. And they just shipped 7 to Southampton pre-season, so yeah, no playoffs this season. Although I have to say, Morgan Gibbs-White is their most exciting signing since Renato Sanchez. And yeah, I'm aware he turned out to be a big bag of cow slurry. 8th, Bournemouth. This is a call. Bournemouth are probably most people's tips to go straight back up into the Premier League. Not a chance. This is the beginning of Bournemouth's slow descent back down the leagues. Where do we start? How about the fact that Ryan Fraser, Charlie Daniels, Andrew Sermon, Nathan Ake, Aaron Ramsdale and Callum Wilson have all left the club? And if you're pinning your hopes on Dominic Solanke to suddenly come good, it's like waiting for a telephone box to score a goal. You'll be waiting until you're dead. Bournemouth should have gone out and got an experienced manager to replace Eddie Howe, not the lazy option of Jason Tyndall, the guy who spent the last decade handing out the bibs in training in between fetching Eddie Howe his coffee. The last time Tyndall was the #1 was at Weymouth in 2008 when he was sacked after just 3 wins in a year. He is so inexperienced as a manager, so relying on him to get promoted, it's like the CEO of Apple handing the keys of the empire to the work experienced kid. You know, when he has a CV consisting of 3 months at Burger King and holding the world record for daily tugs in the shower. 7th, Brentford. Sixth, Middlesbrough. This is arguably the biggest call in the list. Middlesbrough in sixth in the playoffs, in the raffle for promotion, after losing over 20 games last season, scoring the fewest goals in the division, and I'm predicting them for playoffs. Lads, it's all down to Neil Warnock. Remember, he took Cardiff from the relegation zone into the Premier League. Yes, he might be old as balls and comes out of retirement more often than Conor McGregor, but still, he gets teams up into the top 6. Fifth, Stoke City. Again, another team off the back of a disaster season, flirting with relegation to League One and now the playoffs. But lads, ever since Michael O'Neill took the job in November, they've been in promotion-chasing form. They've also signed the likes of James Chester, John Obi Mikel and Stephen Fletcher to strengthen the spine. If Jack Butland can pick his career out of the sewer, if Ryan Shawcross, Tom Ince and Sam Clucas regain some form, then you know what, I'm gonna say it. Tyrese Campbell is gonna have a big season and fire the club into the Premier League. Just you wait. Fourth, Cardiff City. Yeah, another playoff spot for Cardiff. And yes, more playoff defeat for Neil Harris. I'm predicting Cardiff have an almost identical season to the last one. Close, but no Premier League. Third, Norwich City. Listen, last season was a complete and utter disaster, but they've kept their squad together. Timu Pukki, Todd Cantwell, Max Aarons, they're all still there. They've added well with Daniel Sinani, Jordan Hugill, Oliver Skip and Ben Gibson. Lads, I think they're going to have a very good season, but no, playoff final defeat to Stoke. Second, Derby County. Okay, I predicted Derby to win the league last year, and they finished second. You might think a clever man might learn from his mistakes, but I am no clever man. Listen, all the pieces are there. An experienced coach with success at a high level, with a talented squad boasting the biggest name in the division. This is a club who finished inside the top 10 every year since 2012, and they've bottled the playoffs in 4 of those years. This needs to finally pay off the promotion. It just has to. First, Watford. Okay, yes, I realise you probably all think I'm insane for this, considering the new Watford boss is Vladimir Ivic, a guy whose managerial CV consists of coaching gigs in Israel. But don't worry, he'll probably be gone by Halloween, before the club bring in someone like Club Puel. Listen, Andre Gray might be a big sack of wet donuts in the Premier League, but he is a 20-goal-a-season striker in the Championship. Similarly, Troy Deeney and Glenn Murray might have the combined cholesterol of a diabetic panda, but again, they can score goals in this league. Chuck and Roberto Pereira, a Champions League finalist, and the likes of Jared Deulofeu, who've played for Barcelona, then yes, they have too much firepower to not go up. Anyway, that's it. That's it. In the comments, you will enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.